Hello, everybody. Ralph Ventry for NEC Front Row here with Northeast Conference Commissioner Ron Ratner as a special anniversary approaches here in the Northeast Conference. Exactly 1 year ago, this August 16th, the Northeast Conference launched its digital online network known as Front Row. So year number one, Ron, for the NEC Front Row is in the books. Take us back on a recap. Did it meet the NEC's expectations? Did it meet your expectations? How were the viewership numbers? How was the programming received? Give us a little capsule of year one of NEC Front Row.
Yeah, look, it's definitely a happy birthday. From the conception to when we started was a long time, and then this year just absolutely flew by. The reception was great. The fans immediately adopted it, and we were concerned. Would they find us? Would they watch us? But making it free was, I think, a smart move on our part to bring on as many fans as possible, sampling our content.
Yeah, and the live events, too, they did not only focus on basketball or football, but they span the whole gamut. Volleyball matches on Front Row, soccer, lacrosse actually was a hot event in the spring, right? Tell us a little bit about the viewership numbers for lacrosse and maybe some of the other games or sports that really went over well with the fans.
Yeah, I mean, we wound up webcasting over 700 events in year one. Lacrosse was something that came along in the spring, and I wasn't expecting it. The first lacrosse game we ever produced did over 2,200 viewers, a Bryant game. So I was wow. So we knew as the year went on that lacrosse was going to give us some good numbers there. But basketball and football did real well as well. We had over 3,300 people watch one of our quarterfinal games.
Talk about what exactly made Front Row so well received, what made it so successful in year one, and what made it unique to any other digital networks that are propping up there around the country. What features of Front Row really helped it have a successful year one?
Yeah, I think when we were designing it, we looked at the Horizon League Network, which started about 6-7 years ago now. So that was a great move by their commissioner at the time. As a visionary looking ahead to seeing what the future is. So we took the best of that, and then we wanted to add on to it, us and our partner, Pack Network. So I think, as we said, free was really important.
And Horizon League model was the free model.
Free, right. So you take it once it's free, now you're going to establish your brand, okay? And that's what we wanted to do. From there, we wanted everything to be one-click access to the game. So you don't have to go through hoops to find the games. Once you're at the games, we wanted people to be able to watch more than one game at the same time. So with our control room, you can watch as many games as there are on, or you could just pick the ones that you like. So once we had that in place, now we had fans on basketball game nights, Thursday basketball or a Monday women's basketball game night, congregating around Twitter, say, watching multiple games, and then talking back and forth.
5 or 6 league games going on at once, and you can track them all right on the same screen with the multi-game interface.
So you build a little community that way. And then I think the fourth thing was building in social media integration right into the site. We have a social media wall where you can access a school's or the NEC's all their digital content on one page. So I think there are some unique aspects to Front Row that made it very fan-friendly.
Yeah, you know what? I think the Front Row has been an amazing initiative. And before I get into what it's done for the conference, I'd like to give you a little sense of how we got to where we are. And this initiative was actually driven by our council presidents. And they were looking for a way to invest back into the Northeast Conference and do so in a way that would support our newly adopted strategic plan. And so they kind of set forth a directive to the NEC staff to say, come up with something that's cutting edge, using technology that can help advance some of our strategic goals, 2 of which, commitment to basketball and enhancing our brand. So Ron Ratner came up with a fantastic brainchild called the NEC Front Row, and working with our Pack Network partners and KJ Cardinal, we did launch a year ago. So I think with that launch, we have changed our culture from one that is now innovative and creative and cutting edge. I think it far exceeded our expectations. Going into a new venture, you always have high hopes, but you also have, a little reality in your high hopes, but I think the amount of our exposures, our viewers, and the things that our institutions have been doing far exceeded our expectations. We have lots of creative folks on campus that are using this to their advantage and helping to allow our fans to get to know the student athletes more personally, to follow the teams throughout the season. So I think from a global perspective, the front row has done more than we had anticipated in year one.
How will you plan on building upon this year one success?
Yeah, we are certainly going to add to our digital presence with the app that we will launch in the very near future. So that's one thing that we want to add to our portfolio. We also want to make sure that we're taking advantage of all the opportunities to tell our story. And I think we'll be able to do that more so this year now that we have, everyone is very comfortable now with the new technology, and we are now, as you know, adding to HD. And we are bringing instant replay to our basketball contest. That's something that we're doing new for this year. So we hope each year to continue to build the momentum and to provide, that experience both for the student athletes and the fans so that they continue to learn about the NEC and they can follow them 24/7.
Well, there you have it. From the commissioner herself, Noreen Morris, on year number 1 of NEC Front Row, and an exciting year number 2 ahead.